Okay, so this is about balancing tires because I don't think we've seen one tire from Emo or Tao on the full-size motorcycles that are quite bang on for their balance. So this is a tutorial on how to balance your tire.
Without the yellow dot.
Without the yellow dot.
So we've done a video on the yellow dot. We didn't show you exactly how to separate the tire from the rim and all that stuff to do it. But if you've got the dot, you want to put your valve opposite the dot. And that's not a balanced tire, but it's gonna.
There's your dot on this one, and it's not.
There's not a dot here.
Oh, I thought that one was.
No,
it's just dirt. Okay.
So we don't have. So we're gonna show you how to do it without a dot.
Okay.
So we put it up on. Technically, this is the front end of a Leo.
It's his naked bike.
We put it up on jack stands, and make sure you get it solid because you're gonna be wrestling and pulling around on the front end here. So you're gonna need a valve stem remover. You're gonna need some tire clamps, a 10mm socket. Take your calipers off, and you're going to need a pry bar. I use one of these. If you're going to use a screwdriver, I suggest you don't, but if you do, tape it so you're not puncturing or hurting any tires. So we've got it up now. We've got our brake disc bolts out. And we're going to hang these up out of the way.
Zip ties, yep.
Yeah, shouldn't let them hang from the brake line. So we're just going to put those up out of the way. Okay, so now once you've got that done, now this is how you're going to tell. This tire doesn't look too bad actually, but you're going to turn it with no resistance. See, that's wanting to pull. It's not really out of balance, but it's going on its own now.
Right.
So when it stops, so obviously this is the heaviest part of your tires. You want to mark this. We're just going to do it because my bike's so dirty. I can do it with just in the dirt there. But a piece of tape, anything like that. So if this is the heaviest part of the tire, you want this. This should be here. And then do that test.
Oh, okay.
Do that test again. So to move the tire, that's when your tire clamps come in. You want to break the bead of the tire. So we've already done that. We've got it off the rim, but you're going to have to put these back on anyway. Just pull the tire away a little bit. This wheel was noticeable when I was riding. This bike's a little bit faster than most, but it was very noticeable when I was riding. So we do that, and then just take a cup of water, half a cup of water, put some dish soap in it, and you just want to rub it on the inside. Don't get a whole bunch of water inside your ram or tire. So you can. What's
the ratio? Like a squirt of soap and then
just
a cup of water?
Yeah, a couple shots. You're not going to get too much or too little. Just if it's just water, it just tends not to be as slippery. So then you're going to get if you can get a friend to hold your tire for you, you can. We wanted this up top, so we're going to pull the rim. We're going to hold the tire, and we're going to pull the rim up like that inside the tire, and that's not balanced. Like if you're riding a GSXR or something, this is not the way to do it. Take them in and get them done by a pro. But for e-bikes, anything up to about 60 miles an hour or 100 clicks, this will be just fine.
And then I'll get rid of some wobble.
That'll get rid of that.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't have a compressor, you can try this with a bike pump. I haven't had much luck. You can try to get it back on the rim with a bike pump. But we're going to do it with a compressor. Just to pause on it, because we moved the heavy part of the tire to the bottom, and this tire is really bad. It's still out. So you can see when I got this on my top, you see it's all by itself. It's better than it was. So at least we know where the heavy spot is, and it's directly across. So now we took plastic covers off this. This is a metal one, so it adds a little bit more weight. You can get skull ones, but if you can, so ride your bike, and if you can still feel it, you know where your heavy spot is over here. So try and get some heavier caps might help. If it's still not doing its thing, you can get stick-on weights.
I've seen those, yeah.
I don't like using those on bikes because if they fly off. There's no like fender to protect anybody, but you could try that too. But now is probably good enough. If I put a heavy cap on this, it should be fine. So your next step, we've still got our valve stem out. We're just gonna put the bead back on the tire. So I'm just gonna take a regular blower. I'm gonna shut this compressor off so it doesn't come on. So the valve stem is still out. So we're gonna just take this, and you're gonna push it in there and squeeze it and hold it. You're gonna hear a pop when it goes back on the rim. So then you let it go.
That's cool.
You put your valve stem back in.
Valve. Oh, sorry, valve.
So that's the valve stem we took out because it limits the airflow, because you try to get that tire back on the bead with it. And you need it out because when you're compressing your tire, you don't want any pressure there or else you're not going to be able to get that done. So,
okay.
So you're...
Is that hard to take out?
No, you get, this is a valve stem remover.
Oh, let's see, hold on.
And if you've seen some of the caps that you can get for your tire, they have this on the end.
Oh, okay.
And you could, this is one with it on the end too.
Let's see.
Any tire shop or Canadian Tire, you get a pack of 4 of those for, like, I don't know, $1.50 or something.
Okay, I did
So
not
you just,
know this stuff.
You just put this back in. It just screws in. You take your valve stem remover without your glasses, I can't see. And that just screws back in.
Interesting.
Like so. And then fill your tire up and take it for a ride. And like I say, I'm going to put a heavier one of these on here, and that should be okay for me. You'll definitely notice an improvement. If it's still kind of shaky, and you find your tire still swinging without any help, then by all means go get a heavier. They got all kinds of cool caps.
So when you have that heavier one on, it should balance with the heaviest part that you have on that side.
Because
right?
we know where the heavy side is right now. We've split the difference, so the heavy side's here. So you know.
Yeah.
That
So when you have
put on here, it's gonna balance it a little bit better. Like this one, it's probably gonna be okay. This was a bad tire. You shouldn't have to add any weight. You should just be able to turn that. I'm gonna test drive it today.
Cool.
So we're gonna do a brake one too.
Okay.